Okay, so we are on live now, Craig.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, happy to now speak with you once again after a quite long time, and welcome to Spiritual Ukulele Vegans YouTube channel.
nice to see you. It's nice to be here.
Exactly. So we've been discussing on these thoughts, the feelings, and I have a question on emotion. So I want to just understand the difference between the thoughts, feelings, and emotions. How would you define these things? And if you can speak a little bit on that, it would be really, really good, helpful.
Well, thoughts
Mhm.
often belong to other people rather than yourself that you took on.
Mm,
Your feelings are emotion, and they contain information. And
mm,
but I think your emotions often tell you what basically wrong or basically good, isn't it? You can have a good emotion or you can have a negative emotion,
mhm,
and and I suppose they're just the strongest guides for you to for where you're going or what you're doing or how you're feeling. But feelings are full of information, and people don't realize that. It's just because it's not a voice speaking to you, or you're not
mhm,
hearing them in the mind.
mm,
It takes a while, even though the information and the feelings is a lot quicker than the mind.
mhm,
It takes us a while to understand what's being said through that feelings. But it's quite easy to, in your emotions to know whether you're feeling happy or sad. Do you understand? So I'd
mhm,
say your emotions is just like anyone knows that just they're like feelings, but honestly a lot more intense, depending what's going on, depending if you're in a really awkward situation that brought up a really sad emotion or a
mhm,
happy situation that brings,
mm.
but
Got it.
that's about it.
Mm. So if I understand properly, thoughts are something that's that's not really us. It's the collection. It's not. It's collection of information. It's not my information. It's not something that has to do uh with it's purely with myself. But it's the society thing that I'm accumulating maybe by seeing, by using my five senses maybe, and gathering maybe information which may not necessarily be required for my personal growth or my personal evolution. Um, Whereas feeling is the property of my being, let's say.
Yeah, it could come. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. The feelings will be full of information that will come from a deeper space from within you.
Wow.
That's maybe it's letting you know through your feelings whether this is good for you or this is negative for you. And I think
Mm,
when the emotion comes, that's just the strongest type of feeling where it's quite
okay.
everyone knows what emotion, what it does to you, and how it makes you feel. Whether it makes you
Got
sad
it.
or happy. But you're right in what you're saying about your thoughts. Thoughts, even though we sometimes cling to the thoughts as ours, if
Mhm.
you deeply go into your life and look at your life, you'll start to understand where you picked these thoughts up from and this mantra up from. And it's very often our parents or siblings, people close to us, or even governments, media. Like the
Mhm.
media plays a big part in how people think, and people are quite, without realizing it, being influenced massively by it. And this is where you try to need to find balance of what you're
Mm.
seeing, or try you like understand what's being said, so you can ask yourself why and why you think that way. So thoughts are quite influential, but Yeah, feelings will tell you exactly, is more true to you, and it'll tell you whether these thoughts you're going down this path, you're going a good way or negative way, whatever you want to take it. Where your feelings will be pretty true to you, where your thoughts won't. Thoughts will just take you. Anyway, you can be
Understood.
constructive or destructive. And that's our dual nature. That's the dual word. That's the mind. And it's very dual, isn't it? It'll give you both sides, like up and down, left or right. If you look at it, there's always one or the other. And the trick in life is to find the balance between the two. And once you can find balance, you won't follow out the thought. You'll just see them for what they are. And so then you can make a choice, then an informed choice rather than just blindly jumping on one way or the other.
Mm,
How I look at it, that's the best way I see it. That's how I look through life. So I don't really get pulled one way or the other.
definitely. Yeah, I agree to a point. We have to become more and more intuitive based rather than logical based. Um, so when we speak about feelings, I generally have the feelings which are like originating in that stomach part, let's say. Most of the time I feel things in that region, right? When you're happy, you have that nice feeling which is like going to, doing something on your stomach side. When you feel bit, nervous or sad, or I don't know, whatever the other feelings, everything that I could feel more in around that region of that stomach area, let's say. Does it have something to do with that part, or it's everywhere? It's everywhere. What would you say?
Well, your emotions is your solar plexus, so that's
Mm,
just here, and it's just above your stomach, and that's where you get a lot of feeling coming from. Some say it's the second brain, don't they? This you haven't just got the one. They say you've got three, and this is I don't know. You can feel the emotions here in your solar plexus here, just above your stomach here.
mhm,
But you can get gut feelings further down, don't you? So I always trust how I feel more than how I think. At one time it was more I trust. I always trust your feelings will be more true to you than your thoughts, because your thoughts can be carried away by what you watch,
mhm.
what you're listening to, who you're with, what's getting said, and you can tend to go whatever you film yourself up with, you'll tend to go that way, and your feelings are just more true to you. I think.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah,
yeah,
I've been experiencing this, Craig. Whenever I go based on my feelings, right, I'm always right. And
yeah.
even though the things, it might appear like, okay, I made wrong or whatever, but when I see in this global spectrum, maybe time being, it may not be a greatest decision, but always it never went wrong. Like maybe a year after or 2 years later, when you look back, what were the decisions that we took based on a feeling base, it always worked right.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I often say to people that something will always appear. Sometimes things will appear as a massive negativity, and you look at it, and it won't be how you think it worked out. But like you say, a year or so later, you'll look back on it and you'll see that it was the most perfect thing that could have happened, and it happened for a way because it's got you to where you are now. But at the time, you might have looked at it as a negative, but it turns out as a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Later on. And I find that's happened quite a bit in my life anyway.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
how did you gain this um how did you gain this, how to say, power, let's say, of being with your feelings? You know, most of us, we never ever experienced something called feelings, or even never ever gave attention to this feeling part, whereas we got always uh, you know um caught with our thoughts, and we've been always working with the thoughts, never ever, you know have you came to the point when you started really working on these feelings? How to come to that point?
How did I realize it was information?
Mm,
Um, it was just some of the experiences I got, the experiences I had. I'd never had them before. They seemed, at first, they seemed like they were otherworldly. It was just, it was just totally different from what I've ever had experienced. I started having these experiences. I wasn't doing anything to bring them on. They just come on naturally. And then I realized afterwards, it was like someone, like, say, might have a dream and then wake up the next day and they'll work out their dream and take information from it. So it was a bit like that. Sometimes I'd get the information that come out of these feelings straight away. And sometimes I wouldn't get it for a long, long time. But at the same time, it was how can I say it? It was always, they were always directing me to certain things and to look at things a certain way. And it was just, I couldn't tell you why or
mhm,
how it come about. It just happened like that for me. I wasn't doing any particular thing to say I was doing this and that's why it's happening.
yeah.
I'd go into a meditation like I was going into any meditation, and it just happened. But it wasn't because if it went into these trying to intentionally trying to get them, it never ever happens. So it was just like I said before. It was like I used to call it the unexpected. And when this unexpected feeling had come off afterwards, like information started to appear to me,
Mm,
direct me through the feelings, and that's when I realised that there's lots of information in your feelings, and you should pay more attention to your feelings rather than your thoughts, because your thoughts aren't necessarily your thoughts; they're usually someone else's thoughts that you've took on board. You know what I mean? And
definitely.
so, and you've just feelings to me
Yeah.
more true. And I used to be a very anxious man, and after learning this way, I become a totally, quite peaceful. Well, I am a peaceful, calm man now. So it was just a difference. It just led me from a place where I was always in trouble in my mind. I could never settle. And it just led me away from that place. And it led me through my feelings. And
Mm,
there's nothing I could say to you, you can do or should do. Because it just happened naturally.
wow.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Mm.
I can't say to you, yeah, I done this and I done that. Because it didn't happen like that. And that's the truth.
Yeah, I know your experience, like last couple of times or many times that we spoke so far. I understood you went through certain, phases of your life where you literally experienced that oneness state or that that almighty sort of thing with which you felt oneness with, and since then I could understand that you entire perception of your life started changing, which happened maybe 12 years before, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Mm,
I had my first powerful experience about 12 years ago. And
mhm,
I've had a number since then, but they've lessened in the last few years. But it's
mhm,
yeah, yeah. But I couldn't tell you how they happened, or they just happens. But it led me down
mhm,
a path of meditation. But at the end of that path, even though my spirituality, everything was sort of like dropped,
mhm.
and it was just I had a really strong experience, and everything just collapsed. My mind collapsed. Everything that I'd ever believed and sort of just dropped away. And I was left in this, it took me about 7 months to find myself again. I was really lost again. So it was that loss of feeling again that
Mhm.
started giving me all information again. And it just took me along, it just takes you a while. It must have took me about 3 years to work my way through that information that come through that feeling, that massive feeling of being lost after thinking I'd found myself again. Funny
Wow.
enough. So it's just Yeah, I think it's just being lost and being found. It's a thought. It's not
Mm,
actually you. You know, it's just something where we think,
mm,
like you say, you're seeking, but the only thing you're seeking is your own truth because you're already that. So all you're looking for is your truth. But we seem to go around lots of different people trying to find ourselves, and the only person that can find yourself is you. There's no guru out there. There's no great and enlightened person that's going to find you for our Buddha. Because the only person that knows our Buddha is our Buddha. And he's the only one that'll get him there. And it's be his truth that's right for you, not right for anyone else. Even though it's all the same basic truth that you'll come through, you've got to come to it from your understanding, not from my understanding and not from anyone else's understanding. It's got to come from our Buddha. And once our Buddha gets it, that'll be your truth then. But it can't come from no one else. You can be uh, you can be inspired by
mm,
what you hear from other people. I'm not saying any of that. That's perfectly true. But what you see, you will never find it until you find it yourself. And you'll find it through all the different things that look at it. So don't ever sit yourself on one person or look at them all. And if you get stuck on someone, ask yourself why and why. Why does this mean more than anything else? So and look for the reason. Look for that reason. Look why it means so much or why it means so little. Ask yourself why. Why does this mean nothing to me, or why does this mean something to me? And really look for it. This is what you need to do because you need to. That's all you're looking for. You're just looking for your own truth, and no one else can give it to you.
mm.
Only you'll find it yourself. Without a doubt, it hasn't gone anywhere.
That's really deep and profound. Um, yeah, only I can understand who really I am. As we know, we all are unique. The best thing that from what you explained me, I can understand is we have to let go things. Then it will happen naturally.
Yeah,
Only then the light or whatever within us will come to shine. Um, and basically, it's like if I am not wrong, it's like getting rid of who I am not. And at one point of time, the real me, the truth is going to come outside. If I am going to get rid of all those who I am not, the thoughts, the I don't know, the emotions, um, and accumulated stuff, neither this body, neither this mind, but the one witnessing consciousness, let's say, maybe if I'm not wrong, maybe it theoretically, but as you said, again, it's me who has to understand and experience what literally the truth for myself of mine.
yeah. Witness and consciousness. I've heard this quite a bit, but that's just another stage
Mhm.
when you're the witness. It's just another stage to it. It's just um, what can I say? I found I had no control over it, none whatsoever. I would never declare to anyone that I had any control over any of it. So for me, it happened naturally. But all I can say to you, when I went into a meditation expecting things or wishing for things, it never ever happened. It never once happened for me. It was always unexpected, and it was always directing me to, or it felt like it was always directing me through my feelings uh, to look at certain things in certain ways. So I was getting the information, but when it arrived, it come naturally. It wasn't. There was nothing I actually done to have any control over it, and that's when I realised that I've actually got no control. I'll just sit back and let it happen. And that's, I found that for me, that was the easy way. I didn't look, at first I did, don't get me wrong, for the first, say, 7 years of this journey I went on, you know yourself, I traveled to India and all that a couple of times. I went looking for different people, but I never settled. I never went looking for a guru to be with. I didn't want to take anyone else's, I didn't want their experiences. You understand? I didn't want to be influenced by the way they looked at it. You know what I mean? You find you have a lot of people that uh, say they're enlightened and they went to a certain master, and through this master they became enlightened. But I look at that being like, if you're a good woodworker, you went and found yourself, he was a master craftsman, and then you went and learned his trade, and you become a master in his trade, but it was his trade. It was just the woodwork. So what I'm trying to say is, you've got everything you need. You don't need anyone else outside yourself. You've got, all of us have been given it. There is not one person on this earth that's higher or lower than myself. There's no one higher than you, and there's no one lower than you. And once you start accepting and realize that, it's thoughts and circumstances, whether you'll be a great person, a good person, or a really bad, awful person, both of them are inside you. The light and dark are within you. And this is what you've got to find balance between. And our thoughts lead us down a light path or a dark path. But both of them are the opposites of each other. And you're not looking for the opposites. You're looking for the balance in between. So that witness you were saying before, that's a stage you'll go through where you witness to both. And you realize that you need it of them. But at the same time, you're both of them. And that's when you start to become yourself again. You become settled in yourself. You realize that it's circumstances, places, and people that lead you down one path or the other. And you don't want to be that. You want to be the person that can make your own mind up, look at it through your eyes, not through someone else's eyes. And this is what you're looking for. So it's your truth, and that what I've just said. That's what you're looking for, Peter. It's yours. No one can give it to you. There's nothing they can out. They could never give it to you. You haven't got your experience. Only you've got it. And you've been given these experiences to look at, to find your own truth. And that's what it's about. That's all it's about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautifully put into words. Yeah. I could feel how profound it is, and I read through the article which you sent me, where I could see the love that we've been like looking for and craving for. How exactly that love could flow through us, and what exactly that love is. Since I didn't experience that yet, I'm not able to, well, exactly tell you about that love, how you would put into words, even though if it can't be put into words.
So you're asking me the impossible. You're asking me you're waiting for the experience of something, and you're asking me to describe the experience you're going to have. And that's impossible for me to give you that experience. Only you can give yourself that experience. So there's no, I can't give that. I could not. It's impossible to decide, put it in words, because it's just. I wish I could. But when I write it, I try my best to try give a version of it. But it's just impossible. It's
That's true.
Yeah, I couldn't, I couldn't do that. I've got no idea how it goes.
Mhm. I
It's just,
understand. Let's say, for example, a person who never tasted an apple, we can't explain him how that apple tastes, right? In whatever way we explain him. Or a person who never ever tasted sweet. If he asks us to explain him how the taste or how is the taste of that sweetness, with no way we will be able to explain him unless he experiences that by himself.
yes, well, I heard a long time ago someone give a good parallel to it. And they said it's like trying to describe colour to someone that's always been blind, born blind. Trying to put colour in words to them. Be very difficult, wouldn't it, to describe colour in words? You know, red, they go redness, but if they're totally blind, they don't know what red or redness is. So I think that's a good way of trying to show how hard it is to try to give you any experience of that. All I can say is yeah, I'll give you one. The last one I had, funny enough, was about 2 years ago. And you may laugh because it's a really strange one. And it made me laugh when I used to think about it all the time. And I just eat me tea, funny enough. May sound ridiculous, yeah, but it was a really amazing experience.
Wow.
I went to wash the dishes. I washed my plate, my knives and forks, my cup, like everyone, nothing different. And I picked the pan up that I'd been using. And the only way I can describe it here is we get told everything, there's nothing solid. We get told of the scientists and of many other people that everything's vibration, everything's frequency. Well, pan either started vibrating at my vibration or me at the pan's vibration because the pan came alive in my hand. And it's very hard for me to describe that, but it was the most, I couldn't put it down. It was the most amazing feeling. I can't describe it to you, but it's just like holding something that I knew that was
Wow.
alive. But every day you pick it up, and it's just a pan. And I was just amazed. And once I put it down, I picked the lid up and got the exact same thing. But off the other dishes, I never got nothing. Just off
Wow.
this one pan, and it lasted for the length of time I was holding it. It was the most. Uh, it was just
Wow.
showing me that it was alive. It was showing me that pan and that thing was alive. But we don't
Mm.
ever see that. We don't ever think it. Because I'm sitting here now with the computer on my lap and it feels very solid. It doesn't feel alive. It feels very man-made. But for a few moments, this pan came alive. How ridiculous that is. How strange that. How can I explain that to you?
Yeah.
But that seriously happens, and I was as gobsmacked as some of the other experiences I've had, and I've had some really amazing experiences. But that just, I don't think I've ever told anyone that experience. So you're the first to hear about that on the pan. But
Oh,
yeah, it was a very, very strange one, but amazing at the same time. Absolutely amazing.
wow. I'm feeling very much honored that you shared this experience to me for the first time. And wow, this is kind of eye-opening in the way that how we are connected with each and every single element in this whole universe.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my
It's just,
God.
it's something you don't think about, something you do pick up every day and you never give it a second thought. And I never give
Mm,
it a second thought until I picked it up that time. And
mm,
it was one of those things that happened that I had no control over. I call it the unexpected. The unexpected just appeared again and let me
mm.
feel what it is to feel this what it was, and how it's alive, and how everything around us is alive, and it's conscious and it's doing its thing. And we think it's just us that's conscious, but we're interacting with absolutely everything around us, even
Wow.
even the things that you don't think are alive. They're all playing the part.
Mm. My
Yeah, but I
God,
think most people think I was a bit crazy if I told them that. I don't mind telling you that because it was a bit. I can't describe it. It's just
I
that's what
understand
I want.
totally.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, that's really eye-opening. And so if it is the case, Craig, with what exactly we are hidden, all these truths, or what is this blocking factor which is making us to be more egoistic, more jealousy, more, if everything in this universe are one at the same time, why this separation that I experience?
Because a long time ago,
Mm,
without going into it too much, but
mm,
6,000 years ago,
mm,
you could call him a very wise man.
mm,
Started, let's say, he decided he wanted the power over people and
mm,
wanted to influence people. And at one time, we all knew that about the way you talk about manifestation, it's imagery. Get the pictures in your minds.
mm, mm, mm,
And if you have enough people together, you can influence quite a bit of things. And this is why all these big temples were built and all that through imagery. You know what I mean? They could move great big blocks of stone and build all this. It wasn't aliens. It was us a long time ago. But this man wanted influence, uh, and he and he called himself a priest. And this priest convinced other people that he could speak to God, and God directly spoke to him.
mm,
And that's how it all came about. It started a long time ago, and it's just built up over all the centuries to get you. Because this priest couldn't get any higher because we're all on the same level. We all knew God through nature. Every single one of us wasn't the way it is now. We all knew God. But this man, this priest, wanted power and convinced other people around him that uh, he was special in some way and he could speak to God. And then when all the temples started getting built, all this type of thing. And it's just been a builder from that. So he couldn't hire his level, but he had to bring our level down,
mm,
away from God, if you see what I mean, through his influence, through imagery. And he was a master at imagery. And this is
mm,
how it come about. And it's all come from that. It's all stems from that thousands of years ago, at
uh,
least 6,000 years ago. And
okay.
that's what separated you. It's just been other people's thoughts. But I think it's a process that we will always go through. So it's not this man that we should think he's a terrible man.
Mm,
It was just the process we will always go through because we've been given total freedom to choose what path we take. You know what I
mm,
mean? And we can take a path that takes us away from ourselves,
mm,
or we can take a path what you're on yourself now to bring yourself back. So I think it was always going to happen. But I think that's how it started. That's how we got the priesthood and the priests, and then religion was born and all these things. And that separation started. Then you had to go to a priest, or like a lot of people go to gurus to find themselves. And this is what I'm saying to you. You don't need any of that to find your true self. You and everyone else has got it. There is no one higher than you, Peter, I promise you. And there's no one lower. It's the choice you make. And once you start finding that balance and realize this, that it's you making the choices to be separate from what you are, then you'll realize. But it's, you've been influenced over that, your mother, father, their parents. It
mm,
goes back a lot of generations. And this is how
mm,
we've got that separation inside us, which is people are waking up to now and starting to see that like things aren't right, aren't quite right. You know what I mean? But eventually we should all get back there, I think. And we're all one, we're all God.
oh,
Yeah, and this is what we need. This is what we need. We need the goddess and the godhead to come back together. And this is what separated them inside us.
mm,
And it's coming back together, I think. Well, it is. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's just peace we're looking for. peace, because we've had now for thousands of years. That's what got me stinging, constant war inside. I used to feel it, the war inside me. It was just, I couldn't describe it yet. But, and I used to wake up every morning with something in my head saying, there's something you've got to remember. But I could never remember what it was. And then eventually I found it. It was this. I was like you, I was searching for something, but at first I didn't know I needed to search for something. I was just totally lost and confused. And it was just myself coming back to myself in a natural way. You know what I mean? And at first, my mind, I was so much in my head, I couldn't recognize it. I just kept waking up each morning. There's something I've got to remember. I didn't know what I had to remember. And then I got seriously ill, and that slowed me right down. And then the transformation started then. So I had to get seriously ill before the transformation started, which was the thing, you know. But that's it. It's just separation has been caused by a process that we've all gone through.
The choice. Okay.
Yeah. But I think we needed that choice to get absolute freedom, you know what I mean? We need to, you know, to come away from what we were, from knowing God, to like separate ourselves, to realize what we need and what we want. Because if you lived in light all the time, you wouldn't know it, would you? So the darkness is not something that you should think is, I don't want darkness in my life. Darkness will show you what's wrong. So it's a really good teacher. You know what I mean? When you look at the dark things in the world now, and you look at it and you think, that's wrong. Well, that darkness is showing you that yeah, this is what you're seeing. Not everyone will see it as wrong. Some people just join it and think, you know, but thankfully the majority of us will look at it and think, well, that's not right. That doesn't make me feel good. And there's your feelings again. Your feelings are really important. Your feelings are more true to you, how you feel. Lots of information in your feelings. So I can't go over that enough to you. Just listen to them. Yeah, so it's been no fault of yours or anyone else's. It's just been a process that we've gone through. That one clever, really wise man a long time ago started this. He decided he wanted power. And that's how we started. That's how we went on. And we ended up with the priesthood, influencing all the governments, all the kings and queens. And that's how we got separation right across the world, and borders and countries and all that nonsense. Yeah.
Hopefully, things are settling back, as you could feel. And out of what you said, what I can also say is we all are same, and even this thing which separatedness or the choices that we made, which is for a reason. Everything is there right now in this moment, I think. So we all are everything, and we are experiencing different possibilities and different, things. Because let's say, for example, if we are the source, we also experience that absoluteness, that the wholeness, and joyfulness, blissfulness, or whatever. We also that darkness. We are also that person, or that that thing which decided or which influenced people to go separated from that source. Since we all are one at the same time, it's 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 no need of complaining, or we just look things like as it is, just like a play. Maybe let's say it's a play, a drama.
Yeah. As soon as you accuse God or put your finger or put someone down, straight away you're putting yourself down, and that's separation. That's the separation that was created. It created by creating separate people and borders. You made them into different people. They're them and you're you. But them and you is the same. But this separation that was started long ago
mm,
is the manifestation of it all. But like I say, I think it was a process we needed to go through to find, you know, to be given true freedom, that choice. So I just hope it doesn't take 6,000 years to get back. You know, I don't know how long. You know what I mean? I'm not a fortune teller. I've got no idea. But I definitely see signs of it. It seems to be healing, but it might be just because I'm looking at through my lens.
mm,
Healing. You know what I mean? I don't know, but because it's
mm,
healed in me, you see.
yeah.
So I naturally think it's healing.
Oh,
You know, but I, to be honest, I do not know. I see, I can look at the news. I don't watch the news, but if you look at the news, it seems terrible out there, doesn't it? But at the same time, you know yourself, most people you meet, they're basically good people, aren't they? It's just people in power. Power's the corruption. With power itself is the corrupting factor. There's no two ways about it. It doesn't matter if you have power over one single person or a
mm-hmm,
nation, it'll
mm-hmm,
corrupt you. And that's not because you were never put on this earth to be submissive or to be
mm,
domineering. That was never your role. They're the choices. So to find yourself, this is really important. You should not be submissive to people, but should never be domineering at the same time. And once you can find that balance within yourself, then you'll find life gets a lot easier.
oh, very well said. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do remember these teachings that you told me last time, which you learned from the observation of how your parents were um, being
Well, it was
submissive.
come through the information. This was what was got to look at me. So it got me to look at my whole life
Mm,
and how I took certain thoughts on. Now you
mhm,
think to yourself, you can't look back. But I found my way was to write it all down. So I
mm,
started with my first thought I could think of. And you might think, oh, I can't remember, but it comes to you. It all comes back to you.
oh,
And, and it's just, you start seeing how you were influenced. But it was through feelings this information comes told me how to look at myself and how to do it. So
mm,
it's really important for you to look at yourself because you're the one. It's you. You
mm,
hold all the information up for yourself. You own everything. No one else holds it except you. And so it's you. It's only you that can set yourself free of all these influences that have come into your life.
mm.
It's you that took them on board and decided that you look at life through this lens. If you can
Ah,
understand what I'm trying to say.
I do. I understand that from the conversation we have so far. Um, I've been given everything that that I need. Uh,
Yeah, you're not
so
lacking in anything. You're not honestly. You're not lacking in. You're not lacking. There's no one on this earth that's lacking. We have it
mm,
all. We've been granted it totally equally through us all. No one's got more or less.
mm,
It's just the just what it is. This is what it is.
wow. What I feel is again and again when we speak to the people like you know, those who understood their truth for themselves. This is the way I think for everyone to
Yeah,
get inspired and to find out their own truth. Like
yeah,
me, for example,
yeah,
and yeah, now I have this understanding. And what you could do or you are doing is like you being Craig, for you, the happiness is when you write the
yeah,
experience that you go through. And I, after reading the article that you shared me, it literally, shook me, or I could vibe with that what you wrote. So it's the right time that I feel that you need to write, and we need to bring them as a book, so that it would help many people like me, those who are in their path, to understand their own truth.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's lots of books, isn't there? So maybe you can just share that email I've sent with a few people and see how it goes, eh? See if people understand it. Because you're
If you
sorry.
want, if you want, I can share my screen with that mail. And what do you feel? If you want, we can share, and you can.
Yeah, you can just share that what I've just sent you,
Yeah.
and you can tell me out what type of reaction you get to it.
Mm.
Is
What
that
I'm going,
okay?
yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen now, and we can read through that article.
Well, would you like to read? Would you like to read through it, or
Yeah.
yep?
So I'm going to share the screen. You
Okay.
can also see what I'm going to read. Yeah. So give me a second. Right. Mm. Okay. Here
Yeah.
we go. Mm-hmm. That which I seek is the love we have lost, that knowledge of how to be. How can I start my journey when I don't know where to begin? Show me the way. I beg of you to show me the way to the divine place where you dwell. Ah, yeah. And I look and listen, seemingly from afar, this distant thought imbued within a feeling coming directly from my soul. I have no control when you express that love which I seek and unite my inner being with my illusory thought. You express it, live it, and seem to understand where and what you are, and I wish to be like you. Not understanding what and where you are, I want to be no longer fed by lies. No more wars, no more hatred, no more taking a side, only expressing my loving state for everyone to see. How have you conquered the turbulence of the mind? Only alone, balanced confession. Please give me your understanding of this loving intelligence from within. I beg of you, let me express the divine in me. I know it is there, I feel love and embrace. So I beg you once again to spare me the time so I may find that place where you dwell. I know it is within me, I feel your love from time to time. The popular religion say it cannot be reached by the likes of me, but I see the expression of the divine coming from you, my loving brother. Not hesitant, not divided, but here, right here where I stand, no traveling or any need of a priest or mighty guru, just my brother, the one I grew up with, that one I suffered with. There you are, emitting love in every direction, not caring who receives it, no bias in your word or expression. Can I truly love like you? You say I can. Turn me around, brother. Show me the way to the light of our final destination. That place that needs no trickery, no repetition of words, and not a gadget in sight, only the love of God, unified and glorified within me. What can I say, oh brother of mine? Where would you like me to begin? Would you believe me if I said you were all that which you seek, nothing less and nothing more? I live only to see the day, bright or dark. Love and doubt manifest each and every day, just like in you, my young brother. What I do and how I see is a thought process. nothing more than the visit guide, wisest guide. No doubt about who and what I am, knowing the origin of every thought. That which you seek reveals the process behind each and every one. The natural state in you is I am, given freely by the divine. High and low have no hold, so need to jump or crawl. No need to. The world goes on playing with its dual nature, and I just sit and watch the play unfold. Neither the light nor the darkness troubles I, so who am I? I am you, that one who knows the difference and the same. I am the light and the darkness, out of nothingness, seemingly from nowhere I came, born out of a loving thought and ready to express this natural state of I am, not knowing the journey of the dual mind had only just begun. What did I discover and what changed? How did I get lost in this creation of mine? What spells did I encounter that changed my view? What spell did the destructive element cast to blind my sight? What spells did I utter to change my vista from light to dark in a moment of time? How did I allow this destructive element of mine to take control? Where was the balance that I know so well? I am co-creation thought and word, and this destructive thought created in its own way, using you, my priestly brother, to cast spells of fear through your words on paper. If this is so, my brother, what do I do? Their frequencies are like rain covering the planet each day. If I was to find shelter from their destructive imagery of separation and war, would I change, brother, or simply stay the same? I know all you say is true, my feelings can't lie. They hold the truth of you and I, but I allow myself the pleasure of taking a side and pointing my accusing finger at you. Ignore their imagery and forgive all sins that were expressed by them and I. The priest is no longer dwelling here, born anew, no longer craving power over you and I. The sign given, but from where I cannot say, the road led to a path of recovery, and how many years have passed? I sit alone once again, without the indifferent state of mind, the illusory perspective, no more than an idle thought. I sit alone, no longer afraid of love leading the way along its chosen path, and if I stray, the gentleness of my being takes control and steers my wayward ship away. The sea is no longer violent and cruel. The waves of uncertainty have calmed into a bedrock of truth. No longer does the mighty ocean of change have the wind to fill my sails. Nature has quelled its force and found refuge in I am. I look upon distant and near shores where peace has not yet reached and cast my net of thought over these troubled lands. My hands clasped together, I pray to our Father to help his Son find resolution in the troubled thoughts of men that slay my brothers, sisters, and children in our Father's name. Silence is golden but also troublesome with the powerful in this world fall silent and watch a people and nation be destroyed for profit and religion in its grossest form. So my younger brother neither be side nor take a side, nor the loving father within you. That which isn't what else can there be. You are neither this nor that, so what can you be other than what you are? You are the perception of your current thought, cloudy and heavy with the cares of the world, ready to rain down on you, and I are careless and free, allowing the sun to shine through. The choice is simple, no need for dialogue. If you take no side, there is no separation or war. Follow your feelings to that which feels boundless and free. Raise a smile, sing a note, and dance your cares away. The time has come to allow yourself. to be free of the chains of mental restraint that inhabit all you say. You are neither this nor that, but boundless and free. O young brother of mine, I live with God in my heart and the devil on my back. He no longer carries any weight, but the strains of the past seem to cast shadow on all those around. The answer is simple, brother. Trust how you feel when not in thought, and their destructive ways will carry no weight. Loosen you, hold on all they say, for the truth has no words to spell. Place this seed I give you in the palm of your hand and shower it with love. You will find yourself once again and co-create with all there is. The planting of the seed is the only practical way to love, brother, my brother. He expresses through those who speak his words, yet their philosophy cannot be genuinely appreciated by another. You can be inspired to find your own perception of the truth, and this is what you seek. No guru or priest can give you that which you seek. Experience your own divinity, and you will have no need of belief. A loving relationship will spring from this, above and below. You not only think it, you speak it, and you live it. There is no other way. The three graces must be tended, tended to in the heart of all understanding. Then their thoughts, words, and action will manifest in you as one. The illusory perspective no more. Plant your seed, brother, in I am all this. Take shelter under this mighty tree and we will watch it grow together. Just you and I. Thank you so much, Craig.
Well, thank you. I enjoy talking to you. I don't
Mm,
talk to many people, as you know. I don't
mm,
give my work to many people, but since I've met you, I've just felt that I don't know. It must be you. You just come across as someone that I enjoy speaking to. Which
mm,
that's all I'll say. I enjoy your company. I enjoy speaking to you. It feels
oh,
very natural.
mm,
Yeah.
oh. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I'm so glad, and I'm so glad that your feeling, guided you to open this wonderful wisdom to me, and very much, grateful that this wonderful thing is happening through this way. I'm grateful to you, Craig, and to this universe. Um, it was really eye-opening, that article, and eventually whatever we went through this whole session was the was about was this article, I would say, like, it happened in the way that whatever you wrote we just
Yeah.
discussed before, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's just some things are meant to be, aren't they? They just seem to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I didn't plan nothing. I didn't plan to send you that article. So I must have sent you about an hour before
Mm.
uh, yeah, I think it was, at sometime today I sent it, didn't I? A few hours ago or whatever. It was just, it felt right to send you it. And I didn't expect you to read it. I thought you'd read it later on, and when you had more time. I didn't realize I was going to speak about that, or you go to show that article. But it somehow feels right now. So,
Yeah, and I feel that it happened in a way that it has a reason, and I found this really good. Like, let's say,
oh,
for
good.
example, yeah, like, we discussed about whatever you wrote in that content, and it's sort of poetry, isn't it? And for the people, those who just go through that article, if they find it difficult, if they go through whatever that we discussed before, for them it's going to become more easier when they are going to read what you wrote. So it's kind of a nice podcast kind of thing, I feel.
Yeah,
um that that is going to be there in the YouTube and going to inspire many to find their own truth.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not, like I say, you've got to find it yourself out there. If that helps, that's great. So that's fantastic. But
It is
you've got it all. You don't need me. You just
definitely
need
not.
yourself. Yeah, you just need you to find what you're looking for, because only you can find it. And
Of
that
course,
goes
I
for
agree.
everyone else. Goes for everyone else. There's no one better or lower.
They
You
all are
have it
same.
all. Yeah, yeah.
They all are same, and we are unique at the same time.
Well, that's it. You go have your own unique understanding of the truth, but
Mm,
it'll all be based in the same truth because it's only come from one. But
mm.
it'll be your truth that matters to you.
Wow, mind blowing.
Yeah, it's wonderful, though, isn't it? The way it's been created. That love and intelligence. It's beyond thought. It's just the way it works. It's just amazing. And it's just something that just I don't think
Exactly.
we'll ever fully comprehend it because it's so vast and so we just should just enjoy it. That's how I look at it. Just enjoy it.
Enjoy.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying you don't let the journey end. It's a great journey. It's a
Mm,
wonderful journey, and I haven't come to my end of my journey. You know what I
mm.
mean? I'm still in it, but I do remember when I was searching for it, and that was a wonderful experience. Finding new things. It's just maybe what you've just felt a bit before. You've said it's opened you a little bit of something or a way of looking at something, and that's why I used to find so loving. Just that new way of looking at something. It's just, and then I'd spend my time looking at that and think, well, why is he thinking like that? And it's
Mhm.
great. Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm glad you
And
appreciate it.
yeah, definitely. And when did you write this particular thing?
Well, funny enough, this is really strange. I wrote it last June,
Mm,
and I'm always writing, and I always write. It's I can't explain how it happens. It just comes down like a download. Sometimes it can just be one sentence.
mm,
But I've wrote, a lot more than that in one go. It just comes in bits and pieces or fits and starts. It'll just come in one whole piece. I totally forgot about it. And about 4 days ago,
mm.
I wrote this piece.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, well, I like that. And it was this piece. But when I went on my computer, I was looking at it because I wrote it on my phone. I found it again. And I never realized I wrote it back in June. So I
Mm.
totally forgot about it. And then about 3 or 4 days ago, come back into my thoughts. And I didn't remember I wrote it. I started rewriting it again. And
Wow.
it's only when I put it on my laptop to put with me other work that I seen that I already had it. And I
Mm.
thought, oh,
And
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 that's
and
got me looking at it again then. You know what I mean? So
and
I just added a couple more things to it then. And the two pieces I wrote, I put them together as one, and that's the one you've got now.
wow.
So it
Okay.
was just this week, and then I
And
sent it to you. Like,
is isn't it 4 days before I asked you, is it okay for you, Craig, to share in this
"Mm,
platform?
well, it
Isn't it
happened this week, so maybe it's yeah. That's what must have inspired it up again. Yeah,
exactly?
yeah, I never realised. Yeah, it's amazing the way it works, isn't it? Yeah.
That, that's amazing.
So you inspired me, right?
Yeah, this is how it will be when we are more in terms of feeling based rather than thought based. This is a
Yeah,
literal example, let's say, literal
yeah,
approach. Mm,
yeah. Well, we're all connected. We're all connected, and this is the way we'll connect with each other through feelings rather than thoughts.
mm,
As we come back as one, and our strength goes again as one and not separate. I think we're in for amazing things that will happen in the world. Absolutely astonishing things. I think we live in we live in the Iron Age, basically, and we need to get back to the Golden Age. And when we get back to the Golden Age, I think that's we're going to be in I think we'd be unrecognisable. What we'll do. I mean, unrecognisable. It'll be an amazing time. We've lived it before. It's all inside us. So we've got the knowledge of that time and what we were. It's all there for us. What we've got to do now is access it. And this is what's coming through to get us out of this iron rusty age that's dying, rusting away. This age is rusting away. Yeah. But yeah, as you know, gold never rusts. You can put it in the ground for 1,000 million years and pick it up and it'll still be shiny. You can't put a piece of iron in the ground and pick it up after 1,000 years. It's just rusted away to not. And this is the age now, the iron age, just rusting away. Just need it to disintegrate now and we'll come back into a golden age.
And I could see the messages that you are downloading from that golden age.
Yeah, it's our ancestors. Yeah, this is our ancestors and yours. Yeah, it's all there. It's all there. You're all connected. It's all being passed through. It's in your DNA, all of it. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's all inside you. All this, everything in all of us. You just need to access it. I think that's where we're heading. That's where we're accessed it as a massive, huge group. You know what I mean? A whole world community rather than just the individuals that's been getting it over a period of the last, since we lost it. There's been people that's kept it going. But I think it's going to come back into, because the internet, I think, has helped a lot. You know what I mean? Waking people up to it, and then they find it themselves inside. Yeah. So, yeah, but we've definitely lived it. So all the experiences are there. Yeah.
It was really a great sharing tonight.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. It was nice to see you again. So, yeah, from my heart to yours. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Craig. We'll meet you once again. Let's discuss on another article, whichever I wrote.
Anytime.
Yeah. Take care. Yeah.
You too. Take care.
Bye.